Part 3 is about focusing on learning. This is where I see the biggest disconnect with the students in my classes. Most of my students are international students, so they've studied their undergraduate topics. They've got undergraduate degrees from other countries, and now they're coming to the United States, and they're learning here. The first thing they learn is how we operate our universities, and it's a little bit different in my experience than how international universities operate. So the other piece is that if you are in graduate school, that's different than being an undergraduate student and getting a bachelor's degree in something. So the first piece of advice here is to focus on learning, not just getting the right answer. In some cases, that is all you need to do. It depends on the class a little bit. But remember, you are in college not because you have to be. You have elected to go there. You are paying money to be there. So you hopefully have chosen something of interest to you. You should focus on the learning. Don't just try to get the right answers and get the assignments done so that you can get out of there. That's a piece of it. But the purpose of assignments is to help you learn. And so you need to focus on the learning. That's more important as a graduate student than it is as an undergrad. But certainly there is a benefit to thinking in this way, no matter what level of education you are in. The second thing here is earn your grade. And this is as much of a mindset as it is specific advice to follow. But you don't want to expect, and please, if you're in my class, don't expect a grade to be given to you. Every semester, I get students that come to me and they say, "Oh, professor, a 90% is an A minus in our university, in my department." They'll come to me and say, "Professor, I got an 89.4. I really, this is really important to me that I get the A. I have to get a certain GPA. My grandmother won't be proud of me if I don't get an A." Whatever the reason is. Well, that's not how it works. Now, maybe in some institutions with some professors, you can convince them. But in my classes, you earn your grade. And in every single instance where a student has come to me and said, "Oh, professor, I'm so close, can you just give it to me?" I can always go back and find that one assignment, that one class they didn't attend, those easy points that they could have gotten that would have put them over the edge. And that's always the feedback that I give to them is, "Hey, this is not my fault. This is on you. You earned the grade. The grade that I put at the end of the semester next to your name is not because I like you or don't like you, or because I want your grandmother to be proud of you, or because you need to stay in the university. It's because that's the grade that you earned." And so if you focus on learning and your mentality is that you are earning your grade, that's going to help you be a better student. And that leads to our third piece of advice in this section, which is to show up and do the work. Now, this means something in different classes and with different instructors. Some instructors, you might even have a class that's totally asynchronous. That means you're just consuming learning material that the instructor is putting out on the learning management system. You're never together in class at the same time, either in person or online. Okay, well, there's still an element of showing up and doing the work. That means, hey, if new assignments are dropping on Wednesday, you need to show up on Wednesday. You need to go download those new assignments, see what they are, and then get them done. If you are an in-person class at a brick-and-mortar university, show up. Even if the instructor doesn't require it, I'll go back to the first item in this section, which is focus on learning. If by chance you're able to do that learning without showing up, and that's allowed, well, okay, you found the unicorn. But in most cases, you need to show up. You're going to get a more enriching experience if you are showing up to class, doing the work, interacting with your group members, your fellow classmates. That was my favorite part of graduate school, was being in classes with other professionals that had experience. And instead of being there to get that undergraduate degree so that we could earn our way into an organization with our credentials. Now we had all elected to be there. And so it was a lot of fun to show up and do the work because I was surrounded by like-minded people who were all motivated to focus on their learning. The next piece of advice in this section is do your own work. So don't plagiarize. This is a big deal for international students because plagiarism is dealt with differently in different parts of the world. Here in the United States, we take that very seriously in academia and in industry, but especially in academia. Cite your sources. If you are going to copy somebody's work, you need to make it clear that you are giving attribution and, hey, this work is the result of somebody else's efforts. So I offer a ton of resources for this to my students. There are resources. The Purdue Online Writing Laboratory is a great one. It's owl.purdue.edu. They offer all kinds of different formats and strategies for citing your sources, what the syntax is, what plagiarism is, what you should cite. So do your own work. It's okay to work in teams and work as a group, particularly when that's been how the assignment is assigned. If an instructor says, hey, this is a group assignment, great, work as a group. But make sure that as a group, you're not just grabbing somebody else's work and calling it your own. So that's not cool. It's a crime in some places. And now you're not focusing on the learning, which is that first piece of advice in this section. The last thing that I'm going to share with you today is accept responsibility. I get a lot of students that come to me and they say, oh, professor, I know I turned this assignment in late or I forgot about this assignment. I accept full responsibility for that. I'm just wondering, if there's any way that you could give me some partial credit or if I can get the points for the assignment. That's not accepting responsibility. That's called accepting blame. But accepting responsibility means that you are acknowledging what happened, you're acknowledging your role in it, and you are accepting the consequences of your actions or lack of actions. So accept responsibility for your learning. If you are not showing up and doing the work and your grade reflects that and you end up with a B instead of an A, accept responsibility for that. Understand that it was your choices, your decisions that led to the grade that you ultimately got. Now, of course, there are instances where maybe an instructor is not fair or you have been unfairly treated. I'm not talking about that. There's always some exceptions, and you should absolutely advocate for yourself. But you need to advocate for yourself in the context of first accepting responsibility. What that occurred is perhaps my fault, and do I need to accept the consequences for? So that's it. That's my tips for being a good student, whether you are in high school, college, grad school. I hope this helps you, and we'll see you in the next module.